Good day everyone. So today we're going to talk about PHP Array and Sessions. So in the part of the array guys, mas mainam talaga na mas masanay tayo sa paggamit ng array. Okay? Kasi if we reach already to the topic of database, there's a possibility na yung return value niya is in a form of array. So we need to study much better on how we can utilize array. And also for the session, this is totally useful lalo na if we are creating web application that requires login form. So we can take advantage of utilizing session on that kind of functionality. Okay po? Okay, so PHP Array. So before we dig into the discussion part of the array, let's have muna some scenario. So without using any array, and we want to list some names, usually ito po yung ginagawa natin. We try to declare a variable, assign a value to it, and then display them. Okay, just like this one, we have 4 names here, name 1, name 2, name 3, and name 4. And then we display them individually, of course. Now, if we want to add another, of course, mag-add tayo ng variable and assign a value, and then another echo statement. Okay, so just imagine guys, what if hindi lang 5 yung kailangan nating i-display na mga items? What if there are hundreds, thousands, or even more? So mahihirapan tayo sa pag-manage on that kind of approach. Okay, what if ever naman po we try to search a specific items or name? Paano natin gagawin yon? Basically, in this kind of approach, normally, we try to do if statement. Iisa-isahin natin yung pag-compare if the variable is equal to a particular value. Such as in this kind of example, we are trying to compare each of the variable kung sino ba yung may pangalan na Raymond. And that's the only name that we are going to display. So having this one, yung naging output po natin is dalawa lang po yung Raymond na pangalan, which is the variable name 1 and the variable name 5. Okay? So just like I said kanina, what if hindi lang po 5? There are hundreds, 200, even 1,000, or many more. Kung gagawin natin yan, mahihirapan talaga tayo. Okay, so what is the best approach? Of course, we are going to create an array. Okay, so we have here variable names, and then we declare an array here, array, then open close parenthesis. Then yung mga value is ilalagay po natin sa loob na nakaseparate po lang po by comma. Then, if you want to display them, of course, yung gagawin lang po natin is to use for each, since yung for each is intended for arrays. So, ilalagay lang po natin dito yung names na variable and then as value. The value here will point to the item inside the array. You can name it whatever you want, yung value, maybe let's say item, or kayong bahala kung ano yung variable name na gusto niyo. Okay? Then afterwards nun, we can now display the result or yung mga value. That's why yung final output natin is naging ganito. So what if we want to add item? Yan. So nag-add ako ng isa, ganito, ng Raymond. So all I need to do is to use the variable, yung array variable, and then square bracket kasi nag-a-add ako ng another item. Then use the assignment operator of equal, which then assign the value of Raymond. Now, dito sa baba, nagkaroon ng changes. Pinalitan ko lang ng BR para lang mag-new line. And as you can see, nag-output na yung lahat ng items. Okay? So, Another situation is what if I'm about to search that only Raymond will be displayed. Okay? Yung gagawin ko lang po is ganito. Within the for loop, I'm just going to have the if statement. So value equal Raymond. If it is equal, then I'm about to display it. So naglagay lang ako ng counter for the sake na malaman natin kung pang ilang item ba siya. Okay? So basically sa output po natin, si Raymond, item 1, no? And yung item 5, which is yung last na na-add natin dito. So kahit mas marami pa tayong ilagay ng mga items dito, there's no need to worry about the output kasi isa lang or few lines of codes lang po yung ima-manage natin comparing yung kanina. Okay? So that is the power of using array. And of course, yung loopings. Okay po? Now let's try to know more about the different types of array. So basically, an array is a special variable which can hold more than one value at a time. So in PHP, there are three types of arrays. First, of course, the index arrays. Arrays with a numeric index. So ito yung kanina na ginamit natin. Then second is associative arrays. Arrays with a named keys. And the last one is the multidimensional arrays. Arrays containing one or more arrays. Let's start with the PHP index arrays. So there are two ways to create index array. Of course, the first one is ganito. Names or variable name that you want, array, and then sa loob, ilalagay na agad natin yung mga value separated by a comma. So basically, yung mga index guys is automatically assigned na po in which it will start at 0. Okay? And then another way of creating an array or index array, first of course is to declare muna yung array natin para hindi tayo mag-undefined. And then, using the square bracket, that is how we add an item to the existing array. So, assign natin yung ganito, Giovanni and Bianmar. Okay? So, in our code, we do it something like this. So, we can do this one if you want one line of code lang. So, yung ginawa ko dito is parang binaba ko yung iba, nag-new line lang po ako for the sake of readability para mabasa ko ng maayos yung mga items natin. Okay? So, dito, what I have done is I use the array names and then I use yung square bracket, then mayroong 0. Yung 0 na to is what we call index. This is the automatically assigned index which is start at 0. So, therefore, yung name has an index of 0. Yung Raymond has an index of 0. Giovanni, merong 1. Bianmar, merong 2. And Jude, merong 3. Kaya, when I try to display the output, yung nakuha kong value is Raymond. Okay? Ngayon, paano natin nalalaman yung mga index? Although, let's say, by default, it is always start at 0 until to the end index. So, is there any other way na makita natin ang actual? Kasi hindi naman natin nakikita in this kind of setup. Yes, meron. This one. We can use the pre-formatted tag of HTML and then just echo the print R by passing the parameter of names, which is the array, and the second parameter to true. In that way, ito po yung magiging output natin. Makikita po natin yung structure ng isang array. Okay, whether it is an associative or a multidimensional, pwede po natin magamit yung print R na to. So in this way, nakita po natin na yung Raymond merong index na 0, Giovanni 1, Bianmar 2, and Jude is 3. Ganun po. So, this is totally useful lalo na kung nagdi-debug po tayo. So, let's move on. Another example is this one. So, yung ginawa natin dito is we try to different way of declaring a variable of array and then assigning some item to it. Now, we try to access 1. So, sino yung 1? Basically, si Giovanni. Kaya, based on our output, nagkaroon ng hello, Sir Giovanni. Okay po. Another example is we try to loop. Using for each loop, we try to display all the items. So, madali lang po. As long as we have yung looping, we can just pass here yung array, then ask the value, and then display the output. Kaya, we can easily list yung mga names in this kind of display. Okay? Now, pag-usapan naman natin yung sinasabing associative arrays. Okay, so associative arrays are arrays that use name keys that you assign to them. So there are two ways to create an associative array. First is this one, array. Of course, we need to declare first a variable or set a variable. Then array, open close parenthesis. And then sa loob niya, ilalagay natin yung mga item. So associative array is yung index niya po is string. Name keys na sinasabi. Okay? So this is user defined. You can use whatever name or index name you want. So in this example, we use the name, age, and course. And then we have this equal, greater than, then the assigned value, comma, then dito, equal, greater than again, the value, comma, and then another equal, greater than dito, then the value. Okay, so as you will notice, meron tayong string, meron tayong integer. Kasi array can hold different kinds of data types. Then another way of setting up a associative array is this one. Of course, we first declare the variable and then we assign the value to the key that we define here. Okay? So, ganun lang po. So, if we have our example here, so we declare an array of teacher and then meron siyang mga items of name and age having a value of Raymond and 27 for the age. And once I try to retrieve the name of the teacher variable or teacher array, then I can retrieve the value of Raymond. Okay po? So that's how we can retrieve yung value natin dito based on their name key. Okay? So lahat po ng arrays, para po makuha natin yung value, we will reference it through their index or keys. Okay po? So another example naman po. So dito, nag-add tayo ng additional key. Then having its value of MSIT. And then to retrieve that value, of course, we just need to use yung keys po nila. So just like this one, I try to retrieve the course. That's why I able to display yung course code, which is the MSIP. Okay po? Okay, so ngayon naman pag-usapan natin yung PHP Multidimensional Arrays. So, multidimensional array is an array containing one or more arrays. So, something like this. We have the array sa labas, okay? And then sa loob, mayroon na namang array. Okay? So, basically, sa labas, para siyang numeric or yung index array kasi we didn't specify any key. Therefore, automatic yung index na di-display niya o i-assign niya, which is the numeric 1. And then, dito sa loob, meron tayong associative array. Kasi, meron tayong key of name, greater than equal, then the value, then another key name, then of course the value. So therefore, this is associative, while sa labas, sa parent array niya is a numeric. Okay? So as a whole, it is considered as an multidimensional array because it is an array containing one or more arrays. So based on our sample here, so yung objective natin dito, we try to display yung mga value. So meron tayong array using for each. So we try to, of course, to pass here the array. Yung key naman dito, it will be parang ito yung pinaka-numeric key. Kasi this teacher points to the parent array, while this row points to the items of array. Okay? Kaya pagdating dito, since yung mga item natin dito na array is an associative array, kaya yung row natin na variable is we can access yung mga name at saka yung age. By the way, yung row variable, you can name it whatever you want. Pwedeng item, pwedeng, let's say name, it's up to you. So, it's just a variable name. Okay? So, yung final output natin will be the list of names with, of course, saying hello, sir, including their ages. Okay? So, another example is we add new item to it. So, we have an array here. Nag-add tayo sa teacher's array. So, if you will notice, wala tayong binago dito, pero na-add yung output na to. Yung hello, sir Jude, your age is 31. Okay, wala na tayong binago dito. Dito na lang tayo nag-add ng item. Okay? Now, ito naman, we try to know ano ba yung mga indexes. Mga indices nila, yung mga name keys na available sa array na to. So, gumamit tayo ng printr to see the structure of the array. Ano ba yung structure niya? Kasi marami namang array sa loob ng array na to. Okay, so as you can see on this output, there are two levels of array. First is yung parent array. Second is dito. First column, second column. So there are two levels of array. So what if I want to access the value of Raymond? Anong gagawin natin? Of course, since there are two levels, therefore we need to access it through two indices. First index we're going to specify this one, yung magiging reference natin. And then yung kalawang array is yung name naman para makuha natin yung Raymond na value, which is something like this. So array variable, the first index is 0 and the second index is name. Kaya we have this output. Hello, Sir Raymond. Okay, so that's how we could utilize yung printr. Okay, in that way kasi, nakikita natin yung structure ng isang array. Regardless if it is numeric, multidimensional, or even associative array. Okay, so pwede po siyang magamit. Okay, so those are the three types of arrays natin. First yung index array, which has a numeric index starting from 0. Then the second array type of array is associative array, wherein meron siyang sinasabing name keys. And the third, of course, yung multidimensional array, which is a kind of array containing one or more arrays. Okay po? Okay. Ngayon naman, pag-usapan natin yung PHP session. Okay, so a session is a way to store information in variables to be used across multiple pages and for a longer amount of time. So sessions are server-side files that store user information. So the session ends when the user closes the browser or logs out of the program. So a session can store an unlimited amount of data. And of course, the data is saved in an encrypted format during sessions. Okay? So tip, if you need a permanent storage, you may want to store the data in a file or database. Okay? Since wala pa tayo sa topic na yan, so pagdating sa activity natin, ilalagay lang muna natin yung data sa isang session para it can hold, the data will stay for a longer amount of time. Okay po? Okay, so ngayon, paano ba natin i-start yung session? So a session is started with the session start function. Okay, then session variables are set and get with the PHP global variable, which is yung $_session. So note lang po, the session start function must be the very first thing in your document before any HTML tags. We're not going to do that. Most probably magkakaroon po ng error sa session natin or sa program part. Okay? So, paano ba yung gagawin natin? In this actual code, of course, nasa taas siya ng document. Lahat ng file kailangan merong session start. Lahat ng file na gagamit ng session. Kailangan naka-start po yung session. And then, to set a value to it, of course, we're going to use the variable of session. And then, yung key, yung name key, and then assign a value. Just like the name and also the age. And to get the value or the session, we are just going to reference to its name key. Okay? So as you will notice guys, para siyang associative array. Yes, tama. Kasi session is an array. It can be a numeric array, it can be an associative array, and also a multidimensional array. We can set it to session. Possible po yan. Kaya if you will notice, para lang siyang associative array. Okay? That's why nag-start muna tayo sa array para pagdating sa session, konting adjustment lang po. Okay po? Now, let's try to set some items. Dito, nag-set ako ng arrays of teachers. And then, nag-add ako ng item to it having this value. So, nag-add ako ng mga associative array with having a name and their ages. So, meron tayo Sir Raymond, Sir Giovanni, Sir Bianmar, and Sir Jude. Okay? Ngayon naman, ginamit ko yung print R to display nito. But if you will notice, wala namang session dito. Hindi naman ako nag-set ng data dito. Kanina, sinet ko. Yes, nakaset dito. Pagdating dito, nagamit ko pa rin siya. Bakit kamo? Just like I said kanina, session can be used across multiple pages and it can hold the data for a longer amount of time. That's why kahit wala na dito yung variable kung saan nag-set tayo, then we can still get or retrieve yung mga value na naka-store sa kanya. Kaya if we try to print it R, na-display po yung mga data kanina. Okay? So that's how useful yung session. Lalo na, let's say for example, gagawa tayo ng login form. So once naka-login siya, then we can still use the system. Otherwise, kung wala ng session, ilalog out or ibabalik natin siya sa login page. Parang ganon. Okay? So we can also loop through the session. Pwede natin gamitin yung for each since array naman po yung session. So i-display lang po natin yung mga name. Okay, so since we already know how to start the session, we already know how to set and also get the value of the session, of course, there's also means or ways to destroy them. Let's say you want to remove entirely yung record ng session. So we have the destroy a PHP session. So to remove all global session variables and destroy the session, use session unset and session destroy. So we have here yung sample natin. Session start muna tayo. And then afterwards, session destroy. Hindi naman kailangan gamitin natin ito na sabay-sabay. So usually, if we are having logout functionality, yung gagamitin talaga natin is yung session destroy. Kasi this will destroy entirely yung session, okay, ng isang user. Okay? While yung session unset, it will just remove all the session variables, but still, started pa yung session. So dito naman, meron tayong unset. Dinagdag ko lang to kasi this is also useful if we want only to remove a specific session. Okay, by doing this. And of course, yung unset is not just intended for session. It can also remove specific variables that we want to be removed. So in our previous videos, we use set, wherein it checks if a variable is defined, declared, or having a value. Then this one naman is unset. Therefore, we're trying to undeclared or remove or undefine a particular variable. Okay? So this is the thing that we're going to use in creating yung mga logout functionalities natin. Okay po? Okay, ngayon naman, pag-usapan natin how to make a redirect in PHP. So, sinama ko lang yung topic na to. It is because magagamit natin to in the part of our practice coding, okay, which is the redirection. So, to do that, of course, in PHP, we have this header function, which can be used to redirect from a particular page to another page. So, yung syntax lang po niya is ganito, header, then of course it's a string, then location, colon, yung URL. Okay? So, reminder lang po, the header must be called before any actual output is sent, either by normal HTML tags, blank lines in a file, or from PHP. So we have here yung sample natin. So we declare here yung isLogin variable equals to true. Now, let's assume that we are trying to check yung login, if nakalogin ba siya o hindi. If nakalogin siya, then I want to redirect that user to the welcome page. Okay, since nakalogin naman siya. Then afterwards, of course, I need to exit para hindi na siya mapunta sa baba. Hindi na niya basahin yung ibang code. Okay, so that's how we can redirect a particular user or from particular page to another page. Okay, yung redirection. Okay po. I hope you learned something new today, guys, regarding our topic. Just like I always say naman, just keep practicing and never stop learning. Thank you for watching, guys. Goodbye for now.